What's happening, y'all? We back. We back. And this time I made sure that we're on time. This is fresh off of work and fresh off of a game 6 victory by Indiana, which I call, by the way. So it's beautiful to see. But yeah, let's get into the recap of the conference finals and let's predict the NBA finals. Now, we started with four teams that were new to the finals scene. Some first time ever, which would be Minnesota had they won. You know, others, like New York and Indy, they ain't been there since 25 years ago, 26 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And OKC, the last time they were there, they had three MVPs on their team: Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and KD. So here we are, man. These are four hungry franchises, young and hungry franchises, ready to eat, ready to win, ready to start new legacies and become legends. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead. Since we started talking about the East for real, we could start there. The Pacers, like I said, took care of business at home for Game 6. Shout out to Pascal Siakam, who was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And honestly, respectfully so. Other than Halliburton having his moments during the playoffs, I can say that Pascal Siakam has been the most consistent. You know what I'm saying? He has been the most consistent on Indiana. I will give it to New York though, even though I despise the Knicks. I will give them credit where it's due. Um, they played a phenomenal season. The biggest surprise was the second round. I know Tatum went down on a non-contact injury, and now he's out for the remainder of next season as well, too, probably to recover his torn Achilles. But who would have thought that the Knicks would go inside TD Garden in Boston and steal 2 games on the road? I didn't see that in my deck of cards. I'm sure a lot of people didn't see that, especially Boston fans. But we're not talking about Boston right now. We're talking about Indy because they just beat these boys in 6, like I said. So I feel bad for Cat, man, because I figure same thing with Minnesota, because he was on the Timberwolves last year. And, they were at the Western Conference Finals versus the Mavericks when they had Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? But just like Karl Anthony Towns, them same Timberwolves fell short this year too at this same spot, which sucks. It sucks. And honestly, I knew OKC was going to win. I was just real Atlanta biased, and I just thought Ant-Man was going to come out there with that mindset of like, you know what, we've been in this same position last year. I'm not finna go out in 5 games. We either taking it to 7 or we winning it in 5 type energy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't there fully. And honestly, Julius Randle was a no-show as well. I'm very disappointed in Julius Randle because the first 2 series versus the Lakers and versus who they played? The Warriors, yes. Randle was on a mission. That boy was balling, right? We get to the conference finals. This man is nowhere to be fucking found, you know? Like, season on the line, you score 5 fucking points, dude, when you've been averaging like 20. Come on, man. That don't work. And honestly, like I said, OKC was the better team. They're more in sync with one another. The chemistry is unmatched. Yeah, bro. And, of course, with SGA being a league MVP and conference finals MVP for the Western Conference, respectfully, it just made sense, that OKC would be in this position to play on Thursday versus Indy. Now, this is going to be something very, very. Can I not zoom in anymore? I cannot zoom in anymore. It is what it is. Anyways, this matchup right here, Thursday, is going to be fucking phenomenal, right? You have the number one offense in Indiana going against the number one defense in OKC. This is going to be something special. This is going to be something special, right? So I know I've been going against the Thunder because of age, but these are the two most in sync teams left. That's why they made it to the finals. Like, their team chemistry is unmatched. And both franchises play their bench to a T. You know what I'm saying? Rick Carlisle, the Indiana Pacers head coach, he's been in this situation many times before as a player and as a coach. So, he won in 2011 with Dallas when Dirk was just on God mode. You feel me? So I think he would bring that type of enthusiasm with his coaching, along with his coaching staff, to Indiana. The only person on the roster for Indiana that has championship experience is Pascal Siakam, right? Because he won in 2019 with Kawhi Leonard. So yeah, that's championship DNA right there for Indy. I don't think anybody else on that roster played in the finals. And then for the Thunder, their only championship experience comes from their oldest player on the roster, Alex Caruso, because he won a year later in 2020 in the bubble with the Lakers. And honestly, it's LeBron James' fault that he blew up that team, but that's another story for another day. Okay? Between these two young run and gun franchises, this is going to be a tough decision. A really, really tough decision. But I really, really, really want to lean to OKC. Last time they were there, they had 3 MVPs, and they fell short to LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. And that was Bron and Bosh's first title, while that was D Wade's second. Right? A lot of people fail to forget that. But this time, the odds are too stacked for OKC to not win this bitch. You know what I'm saying? If these boys come out here and lose as the favorites, people are going to hang that over their heads all next season. I see it now. But honestly, this series depends on who sets the tone early in the game as far as pace. And Indiana is known for their pace, hence the name Pacers. It just makes sense, right? But OKC plays at their pace and their tempo. Shea is kind of similar with Luka. They don't like to get sped up. They control how they maneuver. You know what I'm saying? And people that you can't speed up, they're a fucking match to deal with. Just seeing it, I've never guarded Luka or Shea, but just seeing it on a night-to-night basis when I do watch NBA basketball, you can see that they played it at their own tempo. So nobody is gonna rush Shea into that mid-range where he knows best. This is tough though, but I really got OKC. I'm gonna go OKC to win it all. I think out of these two teams that are more in sync with one another, OKC is the more in sync roster, in my opinion, than Indiana. I don't think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep or a sweep. You know what I'm saying? I really think this is gonna go 6. I would love it to go 7. I would love for it to go 7, but I really see 6. Um, I see 6 games in the favor of OKC. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy NBA Finals. Um, but this is OKC's NBA Finals to win. So if they come out swinging and they keep that momentum throughout the course of this series, this is their championship trophy. If not, Indy can be the upsetters and snatch that shit in 6 as well. Um, but I'm leaning towards OKC to win this. It's OKC's time. It's Shea's time. And huge shout out to Paul George. Paul George is the reason why the OKC Thunder are who they are. And also, Paul George started his career in Indy. Shit didn't go well in Indy, so he got traded from Indy to move to OKC. And then from OKC to the Clippers, which is how Shea and the draft picks for both Jalen Williams, I believe. I know J-Dub for sure, but the other one I believe is the other Jalen Williams. I'm not too sure about that. But like I said in previous videos, be careful. You got to be careful who those picks are. Those are very, very important pieces. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let me quit rambling, man. OKC in 6. Final answer. Final fucking answer. I'm putting it in. I'm not going to be like Charles Barkley and guarantee it. Speaking of Charles Barkley, man, tonight was the last final episode of Inside the NBA, bro. I'm going to miss those 4 knuckleheads together. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny, and Charles Barkley, man. I got to check out their Going Inside documentary, too. For those that don't know, those 4 gentlemen and the TNT Inside the NBA crew, they had cameras follow them all season, this season, knowing that this is their last go-around doing this. And they dropped episode 1, game 4. So I'm guessing this is episode 3 tonight. I definitely need to watch it. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. Tap in with those Hall of Famers, might I say, because they definitely need their flowers yesterday. Okay? But again, I'm done rambling. OKC in 6, final answer. Let me know who y'all choose down below in the comments. We could talk about it. We could chop it up. We could argue, whatever. But I said what I said. All right, OKC in 6. Final answer. All right, y'all. But yeah, that's this video, and that's a synopsis for me, man. Be sure to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to the community. I know I've been gone for a little bit. Just been trying to figure out my schedule with work and outside of work so I could continue to be consistent for you guys watching. And we still on the quest for 1,000. 1,000 subscribers on the community would be great. So that way I could do my first ever giveaway. I'm trying to give back to y'all for rocking with me so tough. All right. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe to this community today and rock out with your boy Ford from the 404. You do what I'm saying? But all right, y'all. I'll see y'all in another video. Be blessed.